Imagine being trapped in the most remote place on Earth. No hospitals, no rescue, and a ticking time bomb inside your own body. This is the true story of Leonid Rogozov, a young Soviet doctor who faced an impossible choice. In 1961, Rogozov was stationed in Antarctica with a small research team. They were completely isolated, surrounded by thousands of kilometers of ice and ocean. Their mission was simple: survive the endless cold and steady the continent. For months, life was a predictable cycle of work and rest. But then, one night, everything changed. A sharp, stabbing pain erupted in Rogozov's lower abdomen. At first, he dismissed it as exhaustion, but the pain intensified, becoming unbearable. As a doctor, he knew exactly what it was: acute appendicitis. If he didn't act, his appendix would rupture, and he would face a slow, certain death. In any other part of the world, this would be a routine emergency. A quick trip to the hospital, a simple surgery, and you're home in a few days. But in Antarctica, there was no hospital. The nearest medical help was over 1,000 miles away, and the brutal polar winter made any rescue flight impossible. There was no way out. Panic would have been a normal reaction. Despair would have been understandable, but Rogozov was anything but normal. He remained calm, his mind clear and sharp. He wrote in his journal, "It seems that I have appendicitis. I am keeping quiet about it. Why frighten my friends who could be of help?" He realized, with chilling certainty, that there was only one person who could save him: himself. He would have to perform surgery on his own body. The idea was almost unthinkable, a feat that bordered on madness. But for Rogozov, it was the only logical path forward. He meticulously prepared his small medical station, sterilizing his instruments. He chose two of his colleagues, a meteorologist and an engineer, to assist him. Neither had any medical training. Their job was simple, yet terrifying. Hold a mirror so he could see, pass him the tools, and most importantly, stay conscious. If they fainted, he was on his own. On the night of April 30th, 1961, as a blizzard howled outside, the operation began. Propped up in a semi-reclined position, Rogozov injected himself with local anesthetic and made the first incision. Working without gloves, relying on touch and the shaky reflection in the mirror, he began to search for his appendix. The mirror fogged up. The single lamp flickered. Every beat of his heart thundered in his ears. He described the feeling of weakness and nausea overwhelming him. At one point, about 30 minutes in, he nearly lost consciousness. He wrote later, "I became weaker and weaker. My head began to spin. Every 4 to 5 minutes I have to rest for 20 to 25 seconds. At the etch time, he forced himself to refocus, to push through the pain and exhaustion. His life depended on it. His assistants watched, pale and silent, frozen in a state of horrified awe. They saw their friend, their doctor, calmly cutting into his own flesh, his face a mask of intense concentration. Minutes stretched into what felt like an eternity. He finally located the diseased appendix. He saw the dark stain on it that signaled it was just hours from rupturing. With precision, Ramoverit applied antibiotics and began the agonizing process of stitching himself back up. After nearly 2 hours, it was over. He whispered. One word: finished. He had done the impossible. He had stared death in the face, and with nothing but a mirror, a few tools, and his own iron will, he had won. His recovery was just as remarkable as the surgery. He refused any special treatment, monitoring his own temperature and condition from his bunk. He directed his assistants on how to clean the wound. He had removed his own stitches, and just 2 weeks after cutting himself open, Leonid Rogozov was back on duty, as if nothing had happened. News of his incredible act slowly trickled out to the rest of the world. The medical community was stunned. His story became a legend, a testament to the absolute peak of human resilience and courage. But Rogozov himself never sought the spotlight. He was a humble man who simply said, "A job like any other, a life like any other." But his story is so much more than that. It's a powerful lesson in mental fortitude. In a situation where panic meant certain death, he chose logic. Where others would have seen a hopeless end, he saw a path forward. His courage wasn't loud or flashy, it was quiet, methodical, and incredibly precise. Years later, his son would reflect that his father taught him that true courage isn't the absence of fear, but the ability to act in spite of it. Leonid Rogozov's name is now a symbol of what one person can achieve when they refuse to give up. His detailed notes from the surgery are still studied by doctors today, not just for the medical procedure, but for the extraordinary mindset he maintained. His story reminds us that the most powerful force on this planet is the human spirit. In our toughest moments, when we feel trapped and alone, we all have a reserve of strength we might not know exists. True strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it's just a quiet, steady voice inside that whispers, "Keep going." If this story of incredible human will inspired you, please give this video a like and subscribe for more unforgettable true stories from history. Your support helps us bring these amazing moments of human strength to light. Thank you for watching.